Hello everyone. Namaste. I am Akash Rajpuria once again back with a new topic. As you have read in the description, we are going to learn today inheritance. So let's get started with this very cool journey. You would understand with the stories, and this topic would be super clear. So we would see all type of inheritance, when to use what, and what is the use of inheritance. Everything we are going to see. So let's dive into the screen. Okay. So before starting this, in the second session, we have already covered 2 sessions on object-oriented programming. Okay. And I have explained you what is school management system, how to create a class variable, class method. This everything is covered. Do watch the complete playlist from starting if you have missed anything. You would really enjoy each and every part. Now, today's topic is all about inheritance. So before I deep dive into the real topic, we will first understand its importance, why it is used in industry, and why it is a favorite topic of an interviewer. So imagine it like this, again a story time, and we have our favorite character with us, Gajodhar. Okay, so now Gajodhar stays in a family like everyone. Okay, Gajodhar stays in a family and its father name is Ballu. So basically, Ballu has made a lot of efforts in his childhood days as well as in his when he was young, and he has gathered a lot of money. Okay, a lot of money. Along with money, Ballu also have a lot of property as well. So tell me one simple thing. Gajodhar would have all the rights on this property, all the house, money, vehicle, everything. He can use that without any permission, right? Just try to put yourself in the story that you can access all your father, mother, grandfather, grandmother's property. Exactly, this is called as inherit. So inherit has two meanings. One is like this property which you inherit. Inherit means to take. So you have this thing. Second thing is you also inherit the genetics. Maybe let's say your father and mother are very, very, very punctual. So you may be also very punctual. Plus, there can be an extra property that you can be loyal also. So some properties you add on your end. Just imagine for a minute, you have heard this like you look like your father. Yes, because I am inherited from my father. So you take all that properties, okay, and you add your properties as well. This is called as inheritance. Exactly that we are going to see today. Now from story, correlate it to the coding world. That like, for example, this time now it is not father and children relation, but it is a developer relation. Imagine a very good developer has written some code already. This code, like example, yesterday, we have written school management system. Now, a new person comes in. He does not require to write this code from scratch. He can just take already this code, like you were taking your father's property. You can take this already written code. You can access everything inside that code, all the methods, all the variables, everything, every class, every object, everything. And you can add your own as well. This is called as inheritance. So we will see a demo of it and you would perfectly understand that. And the main use of inheritance is code reusability. Okay, so that you save your time. Okay, and you can use the same code again and again just by making small changes. So we will start with different type of inheritance. The first and the foremost type, there are multiple types. Okay, you would really enjoy this. And the types of inheritance, the first one is, I hope all of you have guessed it. Yes, it is single inheritance. Now let's understand what do you mean by single inheritance. So the example which I gave you of Ballu and Gajodhar is the perfect example of single inheritance. I would write this example like this. We would create a class. We can give it any name. Let's say the father name is Popatlal. Okay, so this is the father. Popatlal is the father. I would write that also so that you remember this. Okay. So father is Popatlal. Okay. And after that, we would give some property to this father. So this Popatlal has done all the efforts. We would keep Ballu instead of that, whatever we have. So Ballu is the father and he has collected all the property. And in his property right now, so self would be there for 100% sure. Every class has a self. And we will say that in his property right now, he has self dot house, okay, which is around of 1 crore. Okay, the house is of 1 crore rupees, and self dot some money also he has, that is around 50 lakh rupees. Okay, so this is a rich Ballu for us. Now, in the same way, like we have created Ballu, we would also create our Gajodhar. So class Gajodhar. Okay, and inside this, now see that whenever you create a child class, you need to mention his father's name. Like always, you write your name, father's name. For example, like I write Akash Mohan Rajpuria. So like Mohan is my father. Same way for Gajodhar, we would write here Ballu. So which means that Gajodhar Ballu, we don't need to write surname. And this Ballu stands for the parent class. Just remember like this in a story and you will never find this difficult to code. And after that, I would just create another function here, def, and I would write here own, okay, like which is the property of Gajodhar itself, like def own self, and I would say that Gajodhar is self dot coder, and he is earning, let's say as a coder, 50 lakhs plus. Okay, let's say he's earning 10 lakhs. So this is basically your father and the child class. Now, what is the use of this? I would explain you. See that. I can just use the Gajodhar's object. I don't need to create a Ballu's object now. So Gajodhar, and I would create his object. Let's say his total property equals to Gajodhar, and we would enclose this. Okay, now when I run this, see our object for Gajodhar is created. I can just check his total property dot his house. Okay, so self dot house, just a second, we have taken here Ballu self dot coder. Yeah, we need to call this. Okay, first of all, then only this would run. So you need to call this property. So total property, okay, total property, and dot, first we need to call that function, else this would not be defined. So total property dot property. Okay, once this is called, now if you see the house of C, exactly this is what I'm calling. This is the child. This is not father. We have never mentioned Ballu here. We just said that Gajodhar is the son of Ballu. Then we created an object for Gajodhar, and now we just call this property function to define the property. We can, if we have written this self dot in it, we don't need to call that also. So I would show you that also. And then total dot property of dot house. So he has 1 crore of house. Then we can check his money also, like being a money, how much he earns, like, so money is capital, we need to write money capital. Yes, 50 lakhs he has. And then he has his own also. So you need to call that also, the own method first, total property dot own. Okay. And now if you check his own property being a coder, he earns around 10 lakh rupees. So this is your complete scenario of father and Ballu. Okay. Ballu and Gajodhar using single inheritance. Single inheritance means that you would have one father, okay, not two, father and mother, no, one father, and he would have just one child. Simple as that. So father and child. This is simply called as single inheritance. You have a single father there or single parent there. It can be mother also, single parent. Okay. Now the same thing you can do with self also. With init also. In init, you don't need to call this functions. I have explained you that. Just watch that video. I would just show you the demo of it. Underscore init underscore. Now see, just if I write this, and if I write this here also, see the magic, my half of the task would be reduced. So again, I create this. This time I would say that just property of Gajodhar, property 1. Okay, let's do like this. And now if I just do here property 1 dot house, you see that it is Okay, so we would have here coder. So coder, we get that. Now, if we want to use this init function, okay, you need to call that init function also, because we have created a Gajodhar's object here. So to how to call it, very simple. You would write here ballu dot underscore underscore init underscore underscore. That's it. Okay. Yeah, we need to write here self as well. Okay, now see that. So coder property Gajodhar has, but at the same time, you can also have a house for him. Simple as that. Okay, so this self function is this init function automatically gets called. Understand that I don't, like I have called here own method. I don't need to call here the init method. It is automatically called. And along with that, if you want to call this father, you would write the father name, and you would say that I want its init function. So everything would come automatically to this child class. Now, instead of this also, just the last topic here, and then we will switch to another video. Instead of this ballu, okay, so we need to write here super, and yes, takes one positional argument, but 2 was given, so we will remove this. Okay, so now see, when you write here super, the only difference is when you write ballu, you need to pass self also. But when you write super, you don't need to pass anything, and still everything would work exactly the same way like it was running before. Okay, so two concepts we have seen, just to summarize, to summarize just. Okay, first of all, you have parent class and a child class. Parent class, whatever properties are there that can easily be inherited by the child class, you can use it directly. You need to call its method. If it is an init method, you need to call init method for father. If it is a normal method, you need to call a normal method. That's it. To call init method, you can use the class name. Okay, and then you need to write self also for sure. But if you use super method, okay, super by default passes the self, so you don't need to write that. So this is your complete introduction for inheritance object oriented programming. Okay, and you can also see here, you can also have a look at this gig for gigs. They also explain super in a very easy way. Okay, exactly same example, so you can have a look afterwards. So that's it. Let me know how it went for all of you. Bye bye. We will meet in the next video for the next inheritance.